Everybody's selling digital products right now, especially on Etsy. And that means you need to focus on your listing photos to get more clicks than your competitors. So in today's video, we're going to talk about 10 of the best ways that you can improve your listing photos and your mockups for your digital product shop.
This is one of the biggest mistakes a lot of Etsy shop owners do, is having a low quality mockup. This can really make or break your shop, because if your mockups are not clear and concise as to what the customer is getting, then they're most likely not going to click through to your product or purchase. Stay tuned at the end of this video. I'm going to walk you guys through how to actually design high quality mockups, and if you stick to the end, you'll get a free surprise as well.
So let's get into the top 10 things you can do to improve your mockups for digital products with number 1, taking advantage of the free tools or even some of the paid tools for mockups. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can use something that's free like smartmockups.com, or even a paid resource like Moyo Studio, which is, in our opinion, one of the best mockup shops out there.
One of the websites that we like to use all the time is Canva, and that's how we design all of our mockup. It's really nice because they do have a smart mockup feature in there. So if you go down to your app section, which is on the left side of the page, you will see the mockups as the top one. So once you click on that, you'll see so many different options. They have smartphones, computers, tablets and TVs, home and living if you are doing print on demand, or wall art, printable wall art. And they also have some printed stuff, packaging, and some branding. It's super easy to use this feature. You would just select one of the mockups that you want to use. So for example, say you're selling website templates and you want to display your website on like a tablet or a computer, then what you would do is go into the template that you would like. I'm just going to randomly select one, so I'll just do this one and resize it. And then the tip for this is to make sure that the image that you're uploading is sized the same size that you need it to be, because if you drag in an image like a screen capture that's too long and it's not wide enough, then it'll kind of fit a little funky in there. So just keep that in mind. So you're just gonna drag in your image, you'll see the little loading bar on there, and then there you go. So that's one way to do it in Canva. The other way is to design the mockup yourself from scratch. That's the way that I like to do it. And what you're gonna do is go into the elements, and then you're gonna type in computer, iPad, phone, whatever it is. I'm gonna do a laptop, and then you'll see right here that they have some options. They also have all of the frames down here, which is nice because you can drag and drop your image and it will automatically resize it for you. I like to do the more realistic computer, so I'll just do something like this, or whatever option they have. Another great paid resource is Envato Elements, and we personally love Envato Elements for a lot of different reasons. We use them to find fonts, different graphics, video templates, stock videos, all of that stuff, but they do actually have some really good mockups on here. As you can see, they have just tons of different mockups for computers. You can also search for iPad mockups. For example, maybe you're selling like a journal template. You can also search for a journal mockup, and they have a bunch of different ones. Like this one would be great for someone who's selling some sort of planner, schedule, that kind of thing. And it's nice because you can take these and change the background color to completely fit the brand of your shop.
Point number 2 is to stay with the times. So unfortunately, that means that every year or two, you're gonna wanna update your mockups to reflect the newest technology that people might be using. If you're using an iPhone 8 for your mockups, or the old iPad with like the really big charger, it's not gonna sell as well as people who are keeping up to date with the iPhone 12 mockups and the newer iPad mockups. So keep that in mind to stay with the times and not fall behind.
One tip that I have is to do some research on Etsy and Creative Market to really see what some of the top sellers are doing for their mockups. This will give you a better idea of what is trending and popular right now for mockups, because that is constantly changing. The idea of what looks really high end is constantly evolving. And that's not to say to do something that's like really, really trendy, because that will be irrelevant within a few months, but try and make your mockups look really professional and up to date with what other shops are doing. Number 3 is to add drop shadow elements to your mockups. A lot of shops will just leave their image just flat on the background, and it's so hard to tell what the image is. There's no separation from the product and the background, and it doesn't stand out. When you're on Etsy and you're scrolling, you really want to have something that kind of pops off the screen at the buyer. So just adding a drop shadow, that is like the simplest way to kind of elevate your mockups to make them look really high end. And I'll show an example of a mockup that I designed that doesn't have a drop shadow versus one that does have a drop shadow. And you can just see how completely different these both look. One of them will stand out when you're scrolling and the other one kind of just blends into the background. So just that simple step of adding a drop shadow or some sort of background element can really elevate your mockups and make them stand out.
Number 4 is to add elements like plants and shadows. The shadows where there's like a palm leaf or it's just the shadow of it, and lots of different plants, because this is a vibe that'll catch the buyer's attention and help you stand out from other competitors selling the same digital product.
This shop is the perfect example of how just adding something as simple as a plant can really elevate their entire shop. They have 28,000 sales, and you'll see that a lot of their mockups are the same exact mockup with the plant, and they sell, it looks like budget trackers and spreadsheets. So I'm gonna click on one of these and kind of see what mockups they use, because this will give you guys a really good idea. So as you can see, it looks like a computer with a plant in the background and some pencils and stuff like that. They also have some templates that have shadows. Their Notion template, you can see they have that shadow in the background. This is a really good example of how using plants and shadows can really elevate your mockups and make them look a lot better. Tip number 5 is to keep your mockups really simple. A mistake that we usually see a lot of new shops do is they make their mockups really overwhelming and you can't tell exactly what is in the product that they're gonna get. An example of this, and there's no hate towards this shop, is this listing image right here. You just cannot tell like what's included. Like they tell you that you get all of the posts and all of the stories and all of that stuff, but you have to actually scroll through their listing in order to see the templates, and even then they barely even show you what the templates look like. And you don't want to do this because most purchasers are not going to click through every single listing photo if they can't even tell what they're going to get on the first listing image. So this is just an example of what not to do. So as I'm scrolling through Etsy, you'll see that this shop has a really good mock-up. You can see exactly what posts you're going to be getting. It's simple, it's not overwhelming. You can see exactly what the posts are before you even start scrolling through. And it's nice because once you actually start scrolling through their listing images, you get a better idea of what exactly you're going to get. So I think that this shop does a really good job of their mockups. It's very simple, straight to the point. So keep that in mind when you're designing your mockups, that less is more. When someone is scrolling through Etsy, they're already seeing dozens and dozens of listings on one page. And the last thing that you want is your listing to look really messy and crowded and just overall jumbled together. You want something that is gonna look very minimal while also still showcasing exactly what the purchaser is going to get.
Number 6 is to add text or logos to your mockups. So when people are scrolling, they want to know, is your product for Canva? Is your product for Showit or Squarespace? Put the logo on there and add some text that clearly tells people this is a website template or this is a digital product with an instant download.
This shop sells Showit templates and they do a good job of including the text of what this product is. So you'll see website template for Showit. They include the Showit logo, which is perfect because a lot of the time, especially for website templates, people will post an image as their listing image, but they don't actually showcase the logo for what it is, and it's kind of confusing to the buyer. So make sure that you're telling the purchaser exactly what they're getting and for what platform. And as you scroll through her listing images, you will also see that she has a whole section for FAQs, which is great because that kind of helps answer any questions that the customer may have without having to reach out to her directly. And she also includes a trial for Showit, which is also a little hack. If you are selling digital products, you can include your affiliate links for that software and make some extra income. And she also includes the pages that you're gonna get. So having as many pages with text that can showcase what the product is for, like what software you need to use, what's included with the product, and any FAQs or how it works section is going to be great. So that way people don't have to go to your description and find out all of those answers.
Number 7 is to stick with your brand colors or keep things cohesive. So maybe you're selling digital products of all different types of colors. That's okay, but what's the brand vibe? Are you kind of earthy tones or funky retro pops of color or neutral and monochromatic? You can't be all of these different things, so figure out what your brand colors and your brand vibe is going to be and keep it cohesive across all of your mockups. That way people know it's your shop as they're scrolling through.
This is something that we see a lot of new shops do. They will kind of just do a hodgepodge of a bunch of different mockups, and their listings don't necessarily look cohesive. And while of course you can test out different mockups to see which sells better, we recommend staying with a very consistent style. And you'll see that with this shop, they have a very cohesive mock-up style that they use for a lot of their products. So they don't sell all of the same products, but you can see that it all ties in very well together. They're kind of keeping like this pink color throughout. It's very neutral. And as you scroll through, you're not being bombarded with a million different mock-up styles and a bunch of different colors. Number 8 is to have multiple listing images. Now, Etsy allows you to have 10 images on your listing, and we recommend trying to use as many of those photos as possible. We will see shops just do 1 or 2 images, and I find that this is not enough. We've made this mistake in the past of only uploading like 1 or 2 photos, and it just does not do a good job of conveying like what's included and how the process works and showing what the product actually looks like on multiple different pages and different things like that. So don't make the mistake of only uploading 1 or 2 listing images to save yourself time, because in the long run, this can hurt your shop by people not actually purchasing your product. You could have the best product in the world, and if you're not doing a good job of actually marketing the product and showing different images of it and how the product works, then you're most likely not gonna get the sale.
So if you don't think you have enough listing photos, then here's tip number 9, which is to add a how it works slide. And I think Superhero Designs does a great job with her show it templates. She shows you here how it works, step 1, 2, and 3, with branding, with her logo, with a mock-up. Not only is it a mock-up of the design, but it's a mock-up in the software using that exact template. So it really gives people a clear picture of how it works. And it's an easy way to add an extra listing photo, and you only have to make it one time for each product category. So when you come up with 10 new of the same template, you can keep the same one how it works slide that you made.
And last but not least, number 10 is including a video. And this is really, really important, especially if you're selling digital products. Showing a video of either you editing the product or scrolling through the product can really make or break your sales. And no, we're not just saying to just throw a PDF up and do some animations on Canva. While that will work for some shops, I find that with our shops personally and a lot of our competitor shops, they will always showcase them editing the product and showing how easy it is to use the product. So if you're selling something like a planner or maybe a website template or Instagram templates, showing a screen recording of you editing that product is going to help the customer visualize themselves editing that product as well. So we'll take this shop for example. They sell wedding invitation templates, and you'll see that once you go over to the next slide, they have an entire video showing how easy it is to use their product. They walk you through how to change the color, how to change the text. So take the time. I know it sounds very tedious to record you editing every single product, but this is really a game changer when it comes to how many people are going to visualize themselves editing your product, and can lead to many sales for your digital products. All right, so now that you know the 10 things to do with your mockups, let's actually design a mockup. Something that we get a lot of questions on is how to actually design the mockups, where to get the elements for it, and while we covered a few of those in the beginning, I will actually walk you through designing an entire mockup from start to finish for a website template. So for website templates specifically, something that I see a lot of people doing is they will only do like the screenshot of like the first fold of the website. And so like this is a prime example of how you only see like the first portion of the website. Same with this one right here, you can really only see like the first portion of that website. Something that I feel like really helps with our sales is including the entire screenshot of the website template in the mockup, or at least as much of it as possible. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this and drag this over. I'm gonna resize it a little bit. And then I'm gonna go into my uploads for my website. I'm gonna go ahead and add my screenshot that I did. And I'm gonna go ahead and resize this. Okay, so we have that for now, and you can see how much better that is to see basically like 2/3 of the website on the homepage. So it just gives the purchaser a better idea of like what the entire website is going to look like on the homepage. And something that I'll do is either add an iPhone so I can show what the mobile version looks like, or in this case, I'll do an iPad. So I'm gonna go back to the elements and search for iPad, and I will grab this one right here. Do the same thing, just resize that, and then go back over into my uploads, add my photo, resize that, and then position that to go backwards. And then right here you can see that you will be able to tell exactly what the website is gonna look like within the first listing image. So I'm just gonna go in and just make sure that this is sized correctly. Now, like we mentioned, you want to add some drop shadows to help it kind of stand out, because right now it just kind of, it looks flat, just kind of blends into the background. So I will add a drop shadow to both of the images, which you just click on edit image, go over to shadows, and then I like to do the glow, but they do have a drop shadow, they have the page lift, the backdrop, and you can just see instantly that it kind of helps the page kind of come off of the background. And you can adjust this, you can do like more of a transparency or less of a transparency. You can also make the size a little bit bigger, and you can also blur this out. I'm gonna go ahead and change the background color of this listing photo. Now, this is a new shop that we're gonna be starting, which you guys will see in an upcoming video. So you'll see all these templates on that shop. We're gonna start a new shop from scratch so you can see the entire process. And I think for this shop, I'm gonna do kind of like more of like a colorful theme. So I'm just gonna change the background to kind of reflect the color scheme that I'm going for on that new shop. So I'm gonna do like this muted pastel purple to kind of bring out the purple in the template. And then, like I mentioned before, you want to put some sort of logo and text that kind of showcases what this template is. So since this template is for Squarespace, I'm going to go ahead and add the Squarespace logo to that. So an easy way to do that is just go and search for the software's logo on Google and download the PNG. And I'm going to go ahead and add like a little rectangle behind that so it kind of stands out a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead and drag up the rectangle. Now I'm gonna leave it like this. Of course you can add text on this listing image, but I like to keep mine really simple and just showcase the website and tell them what platform it's on. But you can totally name your templates, you can do a completely different mock-up as long as you're keeping it really simple but still straight to the point. So after that, I'm gonna go back up to here, which is the image that we were kind of messing with in the beginning. And I'm gonna go ahead and do a what's included page on here. So I'm just gonna go and type out a few things that they're gonna be getting with this purchase. All right, so I have the main listing image and then the what's included. Now with websites, I like to showcase basically all of the pages on one page. So I'm gonna go ahead and drag in every single screenshot I have of this page and do a listing image that showcases all of those pages together. So now that I have the listing image with all of the pages included, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some text along the top that kind of just reiterates that this template is fully customizable and that you can change out the colors, fonts, images, and all of that stuff. All right, so to show you guys what I have so far, you will see that I have the main listing image that showcases the website, and the purchaser can see basically a pretty big portion of the website, so they have a better idea of what the full website looks like. I'm telling them that it's on Squarespace. You would do the same for if this is a Canva product or a Show It template or a Photoshop template. Having that logo there will really help people know what this is for. And then I have a what's included page. So this will tell them what pages they're gonna be getting. They're gonna be getting the Canva elements, and then I put a little bonus 25-minute walkthrough video. I think that having like a little like bonus element is really good for sales as well, whether that's like a freebie product that's included or a video or maybe some sort of discount that they can get for signing up with your link. That always incentivizes people to purchase. And then I also included a mobile mockup so they know exactly what their website template is going to look like on a mobile device, and kind of emphasize a few more points, and also just showcasing more of the pages and emphasizing again that this template is fully customizable.
At the beginning of the video, we said we were going to give you guys a special gift at the end of the video, and we're super excited to tell you that we are giving you some mockups for free. So you can use the coupon code 5PLR to go purchase one of the mockups on our shop completely for free. That way you can get started and you can start selling digital products with more clicks than your competitors. So go implement these 10 tips to get your mockups better than your competitors so that you can get the most amount of sales possible. Like and subscribe if you want to keep watching more free content about how to make money online, and we'll see you guys in the next video.